This is Colm McGuigan for IFLTV. Delighted to be joined with Eduardo Hernandez in Puerto Rico, San Juan. Eddie, first of all, enjoying your time here?
Yeah, loving it. I mean, we like going anywhere where there's a passion for boxing. Obviously, you see us do between 5 and 6 shows a year in Mexico. We'll be doing the same in Puerto Rico next year. Obviously, we do our shows in the US, the UK, the Middle East, Australia, all over the world. And this is an important market for us. And a great fight card tomorrow night. Obviously, a brilliant main event, pure 50-50. But beneath that, some big fights for our guys, some true 50-50s, some upsets potentially brewing as well. And looking forward to what I believe will be a great night.
I want to talk to you a little bit about the main event first. Richardson, Hitchins and PARO, this is a real crossroads fight. In terms of the winner, what could be next for the winner of this fight?
Well, I wouldn't say it was a crossroads fight, Colm. I think you're talking rubbish again. A crossroads fight is more when you've got like an older generation fighter against a young gun. These are two guys that are at the peak of their powers, two guys that are looking to make the biggest fights in the division. So, unlucky, but I mean, it was a nice try. I just think that it's a brilliant matchup. You've got two guys here who are risking it all for the big fights. I love Liam's mentality of, he could have had a voluntary defence, but he called on the mandatory. There's not a lot of people calling on Richardson Hitchins. He wanted to get it out of the way so he could land a Teofimo, a Cambosis, one of these mega fights that could change his life forever. So I like the fights where people are coming up to me saying, what do you think tomorrow night? What do you think? No one truly knows, and that's why it's one of the top matchups in the division.
Jack Catterall's out there. Is obviously, he's previously spoke about coming here. Is he coming to this fight?
He's not coming to the fight, no, but we're obviously planning his next fight now. And I think that if Liam PARO wins, either guy is going to want to defend their championship in their home country, right? So PARO's going to look for that big fight in Australia. For Richardson Hitchins, he's going to want that big fight in America. I think Jack would go to both territories, but at the same time, we've been ordered to fight Barboza. I do believe that Teofimo Lopez will move up to 147. So whether he does that in time for that fight, it's either going to be for the interim or the full championship. So I think more realistically, Jack Catterall will fight Barboza next in a great fight, but he could face the winner here, and we'll have to see how it unfolds.
Breaking down the rest of the card, in terms of UK fans who might have to stay up a little bit later to watch this, what would be your pick of the bunch?
My advice to them is to make sure you tune into Before the Bell, because I think there's some great fights. I mean, William Ortiz against another undefeated fighter from Puerto Rico is going to be a war. Look out for Roman against Jalil Hackett. It's a really tough fight. Hackett's one of our young prospects that's coming into Puerto Rico to fight a very good Puerto Rican fighter. It's going to be hard work for him there tomorrow night. And a great Before the Bell section. Mark Castro's in a really good fight. Yankee Rivera against Gonzalez is going to be an absolute war. Pitufo against Henry LeBron, brilliant fight. What are you laughing at? And also the main event.
I'm laughing at Frank Smith.
What's up? What? Have a bit of respect.
Subriel Matias, someone who Liam PARO beat here last time out. What's the situation with yourselves and Subriel?
So, after his defeat, every contract's different. For his, there was no comeback fight. He knew that he had a mandatory challenger next, so there was no rematch clause. But we're looking to work with him, of course. We were very deep at 140 pounds. I think Subriel Matias is still one of the most exciting fighters in the division. So we're talking to his team at the moment about bringing him back potentially. He's just fought, by the way, just had a win. But potentially bringing him back on the Berlanga card in March.
That Berlanga card in March, who's a likely opponent for Edgar Berlanga, obviously?
Yeah, it's not. Look, I think the big fights for Edgar Berlanga, Jaime Munguia, Caleb Plant, Charlo, for me, that's going to come in the summer. And I think the comeback fight in March will be a good opponent, top 15 kind of guy, get that win and then move into a massive fight.
One of the fights that was left out of the Saudi card was Anto Katsis and Sugar Nunes. What is the situation there?
We have agreed terms with Queensbury for the Nunes-Katsis fight. It's over. It'll be on their show, so it's over to them to announce that. We were always contracted to fight the winner of Warrington Katsis. Obviously, we had the stuff with the IBF belt, but I wouldn't say that I goaded Katsis into the fight because I think he's a fighting man. I respect him for taking it. I think it's a brilliant fight. Again, I'll let the Queensbury announce when that fight will be. But from our side, we've agreed to that fight. It's a little bit later than we would have liked because he's ready to go now, or January or February. But big respect to Anto Katsis. He's doing what he should do, which is face the mandatory challenger. It is an absolute bloodbath, that fight. And I'm promoting, it's not even on my card. But I'm telling you now, Katsis Nunes will be fight of the year.
In terms of that, though, you actually owe him an apology because in an interview you said, I am telling you right now, Anto Kakachi will not take Sugar Nunes.
Because I wanted to say that to make. I know what Kakachi's like. He's got a set of balls on him. So once I tickled him a little bit, he was said, fuck it, I'll fight him. That's the reality. So I apologise to you, COLM, and I apologise to Anthony Kakachi, and I give him massive credit for taking his fight. Listen, it's a 50-50 fight. I rate Nunes as, I think, an absolute savage. And Kakachi will come to fight. Go and watch Rakhimov against Nunes in Russia. This is the kind of fight it's going to be. Kakachi's got big balls, he's big, he's strong, and he's the champion. But I'm telling you now, our boy Sugar Nunes, coming to wherever it will be, and he will rip that title from Anto Kakachi. Get up the Matchroom, boys. We're smashing Queensbury up in that fight.
Paddy Donovan pulled out of the huge boxing show. Was that with a view to fighting Lewis Crocker and that deal being signed?
I think Paddy was looking to have a little run out before that fight. Perhaps because of the importance of that fight and the magnitude of that fight, I can confirm if that fight gets made and announced, it has been confirmed by the IBF that it will be a final eliminator for the mandatory position for Jerome Boots Ennis. So maybe Paddy looked at it and went, this fight is so big, I don't really want to take any risks. And if we can get that fight over the line, there'll be an announcement soon. Massive fight for Belfast, for Limerick, for Ireland. It's a huge fight.
Plenty of Eddie Hearn Belfast accents that week.
Oh, we'll be all right. Well, I don't know.
Terrible. Last one for me. Team Usyk have announced today that Sergey Lapin will fight on the Fury Usyk fight week. Have Matchroom got any fighters going to be announced on that?
Yes, we have. And again, I'll leave it to Riyadh season. There will be.
So Team Usyk can do it, but Eddie Hearn can't?
What?
Can announce that their fighters on it?
It's not up to me to announce. So why would you want me to disrespect Riyadh season and make my own announcement about fights?
It's your fighters, no?
It doesn't matter. It's not my job. It's not my show. So, as far as I'm concerned, have some respect for His Excellency. Disgusting behaviour.
Eddie Hearn, see you tomorrow.